Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Ncuti Gatwa is the 14th Doctor. As usual, I'm always surprised with the announcement, the timing of the announcement of a new Doctor Who. I didn't expect Paul McGann to be cast as the Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Peter Capaldi, and I certainly didn't expect Jodie Whittaker to be cast as the Doctor. So this is a huge surprise. Now, I know nothing about Ncuti at all. I know he's in Sex Education. I've never seen him in anything. So in the past 10 minutes in preparing this video, I've done some research. I think he's Scottish. I think he's got this kind of, he's from, is it Moanda? I think he's Moandan Scottish, I think, if I'm right. He's won an award before. I think he's an Emmy Award winner or something like that. So he's clearly a very talented actor. Already Twitter is absolutely breaking. You know, when the next Doctor is cast, it's very, very exciting. I want to know what you think about this because it's very important. You are the fans. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I haven't really enjoyed the Chibnall era. I do believe Jodie Whittaker was the wrong choice, not because she was a woman. I just have never seen her as the Doctor. That's probably down to Chibnall's lack of fleshing her out as the Doctor more than the actor herself. So, how will Ncuti do? Well, he's very talented. I think the great thing is here we've got Russell T Davies as the showrunner and the head writer. So, you know, even if they cast kind of a bin bag as the Doctor, it's bound to be good because, you know, Russell T Davies is the one who brought, you know, Doctor Who kicking and screaming into the 21st century. Violet, very excited. He's wonderful in Sex Ed. Also, first queer actor to play the Doctor, which I'm a big fan. Oh, thanks for that information because I didn't actually know that. Identity stuff. Besides, he really dances around the screen in the same way as Matt and David. That's very important. Thank you, Violet. If you can tell me anything else about him, I'd be very much appreciative because I know Jack about Ncuti Gatwa. I actually had to ring up a friend so I pronounced his name properly because I was saying ncuti Gatwa, which obviously is very disrespectful not to get people's names right. But obviously, I can't, you know, I'm not perfect at the end of the day. So, yeah, I'm a bit shaky. I'm a bit nervous about this because this, when a new Doctor is cast, I don't know what to think. I really don't. It's not because I don't know him. I've never seen him in anything before. And so it's interesting, isn't it? As I say, Russell T Davies will be writing for him. So that's a good thing. And maybe if Russell T Davies was writing for Jodie would have been a great Doctor too. Ronnie Dodge, I'm excited. He's Scottish, but has a London accent. John, is this confirmed? Yes, John, it's confirmed. It's official. John Gordon. He's a good actor in Sex Education. He's now the 4th Scottish actor to take the role. So, yes, he's a Scottish actor. We know he's in Sex Education. We know that he's an award winner. And we know that Russell did audition many, many people. So, listen, it's kind of one of those left field castings because nobody expected it. As usual, all the propaganda merchants were saying this one, that one. Do you remember the David Tennant thing? Which would have been interesting, but it would have shown how desperate they are if they did that. There's only one way they could have done that, and that's if they used him as the human meta-crisis Doctor, but it was never going to happen. Russell was never going to go down that direction. Ronnie Dodge, he'd probably be one of the youngest actors to be the Time Lord. I think he's about 22. He's very young. What's important about this lad is he's young, he's vibrant, he's happening, people like him. You know, when you look at Jodie Whittaker, we'd seen her in small roles, we'd seen her in Broadchurch, but she wasn't exactly popular in terms of social media. This lad is on Instagram. I think he may have to come off of Instagram. in the history of the revival, everyone comes off of social media once they're cast as the Doctor. John Gordon, he's 29, right? Insane Fidgets. Hi, this is my account. It's Fair. Hello, Fair. This is my niece. She's just set up her own YouTube account where she'll be talking about fidgets. Ronnie Dodge, I wonder if he has filmed his regeneration scenes yet. Yes, that's very interesting. I think he probably already has done that. Listen, Russell T Davies' announcement, you know, when he was coming back, that would have been agreed months ago. So they're obviously ahead of the game. Maybe that's already been filmed. I don't know. But yeah, I'm a bit like that because I don't know what to think about it. But Doctor Who is in a lot of trouble and it needs an exciting new era. There's no question of it. You know, the ratings are down. It's the divided fan base. I mean, in certain elements, this casting will continue to divide people. Please smash a like on the video. There's no question about that. Some people won't be happy about this casting because of certain reasons. I don't really want to go into those reasons because I want to keep this a positive video. But we know how the world is. We know how some people think. You know, he's not the first person of colour to play the Doctor, of course, because Jo Martin has already played the Doctor, and hopefully we see her again in Jodie's final episode. John, I wonder who the companions will be. Very interesting as well. I think, again, they'll probably go for young companions, young happening companions. It'll be interesting what direction we go in. Russell T Davies always used to go for the pretty young companion. I would like an alien companion. I think in the history of Doctor Who, my favourite companions have been aliens or maybe a robot or something like that. Something a bit new. I'm fed up of human companions. I'm bored of human companions. So I'd like to see maybe at least one alien companion. Hopefully just one companion as well. I don't think having loads of companions really works. It will be extremely interesting. So we don't know about the companions at this time. The Gaming Man at Hey Mick, I want to get more into Doctor Who, but I was under the impression that the woman Doctor was the final reincarnation because a Doctor can only regenerate 12 times, right? Is there a reason? Well, basically, the Gaming Maniac, back in Matt Smith's last episode, the Doctor got a whole load more of regenerations by the Time Lords when Clara Oswald, aka Jenna Coleman, begged the Time Lords to save the Doctor because Matt Smith was supposed to be the final regeneration, but the Time Lords gave him more regenerations. So that's why we have a 14th Doctor. So we now know that there's going to be a regeneration. Now, I had the theory that maybe there wouldn't be a regeneration at the end of Jodie's, and maybe we would do something else here. There's been rumours about a multiversal kind of Doctor Who universe being done by Russell T Davies. That could still be a thing. And then, obviously, he's got to be introduced in the 60th anniversary. So Ncuti has got a lot to live up to because not only he's going to be the first Doctor to be introduced in a special, in a 60th anniversary special. This is huge. So this is going to be huge for the lad. Imagine how he's feeling right now. I've always wanted to be cast as the Doctor. And right now I can imagine how exciting it would be for me. So let alone Ncuti, it must be very exciting. And unfortunately, the cruelty of being the next Doctor is everyone has an opinion about you. There will be people being very aggressively kind of negative about his casting. That's going to be hard. So it's important he protects himself by coming off of social media. Wow, yeah, but of course I'm surprised. I never believed any of the rumours. Of course, I never do. I know the game. I know how it works. I didn't really get involved with those rumours or did videos about those rumours because I don't see the point of doing that. The Gaming Man, who was your favourite Doctor? Well, Peter Davison was my first. I'd probably say right now Christopher Eccleston was an amazing Doctor, but so was Paul McGann. Peter Davison, my first Doctor, was also amazing. Without Peter's incarnation of the Doctor, I would never have got into this show. I'm the Doctor. A Doctor of what? I'm a Doctor of everything. I love that. The idea that we had a character who says he's so intelligent that he's a Doctor of everything. So, as I say, Russell T Davies has got some new ideas for this show. And I can't see this not working because it's Russell. He's a genius. And he wouldn't have come back. Well, listen, he knew he had to come back because the thing is broken and it needs fixing. There's no question about that. So he had to come back. He had to. But yeah, wow. As I say, I'd love your thoughts about the casting announcement of Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor, the 14th Doctor. Of course, this is historic, and a lot of people are going to make a lot of the fact that he's a person of colour. Apparently, he's the first gay actor to play the Doctor. That's interesting. It wouldn't surprise me of a couple of the people who have played the Doctor before were actually gay and didn't come out the closet. But hey, officially, he's the first kind of, as we say, the first queer actor to play the Doctor, which is interesting. It doesn't make much of a difference to me. I really don't care about things like that. You're not defined by your sexuality. You're not defined by what you look like and where you're from. It's got to be, let's be clear here. It doesn't matter about the kind of, the inclusive elements of this. What's important is that he's a great Doctor and he's written for in a great way. Well, we know one of these things is going to happen because he is, being written by a great writer. John, what would you like the new Doctor's costume to look like? Well, this is going to be interesting. I've always liked the colour pink, so the colour pink would be pretty exciting. Maybe with a pink cat. Who knows? Gaming Maniac, Christopher Doctor is so underrated. Oh, I don't think he's underrated. Andromeda Command, I'm looking forward to the new Doctor. Yep. It's very exciting. At least at the end of the year, we get to see this centennial special and we'll see him regenerate, and I'm sure he'll have a little scene and some dialogue. So we get a handle on what kind of Doctor this is going to be. So just seeing a few clips of him in Sex Education, I do feel he will be a good Doctor. I think he will work, and he's definitely been chosen. They've chosen a talented person, right? So they couldn't cast another woman. So obviously they wanted this to be an inclusive casting. So they went with an actor of colour, but a talented actor of colour. What they've done this time is they've said, right, we're going to cast inclusively. Some of you are not going to be happy about that, but we're going to make this an airtight casting. John Gaunt, Matt was my first, but the 5th Doctor is my favourite. His arc from not saying Adric to saying Pearl, Perry is a complete arc. Might be the best arc for any of the Doctors. Ronnie Dodge, Mick Russell is at the BAFTAs Movie Awards tonight, I believe. Yeah, so he'll probably, if it's live, they'll probably say something about it. The Gaming Maniac, I dipped out of Doctor Who during the Matt Smith era, but I really enjoyed his Doctor. But David Tennant was just great. John, when is the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who? I think it's next October. I think that's when we're going to see the first kind of incarnation of RTD2. And it's going to be a 60th anniversary special. Wouldn't it be amazing for Ncuti if he could be alongside David Tennant, Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith? The miracle, the one we all want is Christopher Eccleston. Ronnie Dodge, BAFTA TV Awards, rewind the times. Hi, Mick. Just wanted to give a like and say hi. I know nothing about Doctor Who, lol. Have a great day, brother. You too. Yeah, so, yeah, if anyone is interested in getting into Doctor Who, I'm your man. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know quite a lot. Ronnie Dodge, don't forget, Ace is in the next Doctor Who episode. Yes, Ace and Ace and Tegan. Yes, Ace and Tegan will both be in Jodie's final episode. So very excited. So it's a great day because it's a casting of a brand new Doctor. That's always very exciting to get everyone's opinions, even the bad takes as well as the good takes. As I say, everyone's going to have an opinion about this. So it is the way it is. I'm sure the fandom menace are getting ready to put their things out. Doctor Who Shorts. How are you? I'm very well, Doctor Who Shorts. Always great to be talking to Doctor Who fans. I know I talk a lot about DC live action, but I'm also a huge Doctor Who fan. This is a channel for all entertainment, and we will be talking a lot about Doctor Who in the upcoming days and months. And I will be going live talking about Doctor Who if you're interested. So please subscribe If you're a Doctor Who fan, please like the stream, help me out. I'm a very small YouTuber, and as I say, we're going to attempt to keep this positive. I can't venture much of an opinion because I've only just seen a few short clips of him. I've seen him being interviewed. He looks like a very positive young guy. As someone said, very bouncy, and that's what we want from the Doctor as well. I think this is certainly different to the Jodie Whittaker casting. As I say, this guy is very popular with young people. If you go onto TikTok, you'll find a lot of sex education videos. Sex Education is the Netflix drama he is in. He plays a very popular character. So basically, Doctor Who has now tapped in to the Netflix generation, to the TikTok generation. This is what makes this casting genius. So they're going to tap into a younger audience. Jodie Whittaker didn't tap into a younger audience because she never appealed to a younger audience. That's one of the other reasons probably she wasn't the right fit. They could have cast a female that really, was someone that young people looked up to from one of these other shows. Well, this is what they've done with Shooting. This is what RTD has done with Shooting. They've picked someone who's very popular with Netflix, with the TikTok generation, and that's going to be vital going forward. Russell is a great guy to write for young kids as well and teenagers. So that's what they're looking for. They know that you and me are going to watch it, whatever. We're Doctor Who fans going back. But Doctor Who has lost its younger audience, thanks to Chris Chibnall and Stephen Moffat to a point as well. I think Stephen did a great job. He's got a very great, vast imagination. But I think when you cast an older Doctor, it is problematic, even though I love Peter and I think he's a great Doctor, because mainstream television needs to tap into this younger audience. And tapping into someone from a show that's really captured the imagination of TikTok and the TikTok youth is very, very important. So I think that's an important element of this. It's clear they wanted to bring in someone of colour to play this role, but they brought in someone talented and popular, and that's important. And I think personally it's going to work, mainly because Russell T Davies is involved, but this is a talented young man as well. My advice to you is, if you do find him on social media, even if you're not happy about this, be a bit constructive in what you say. Marcus Walker, I know him from Sex Education, and to be honest, I wouldn't have cast him, but I trust Russell on this. Yeah, listen, as I said earlier, they were always going to give us an inclusive casting. This is where we are in the industry now. It's not changing. It's not going back. This is what we're going to get. They're going to take iconic properties and cast, the LGBT community, people of colour, corners of the world haven't been normally cast in these roles because this is how people of this political standpoint feel should be done. They believe that white people should be replaced by people of colour and people from the LGBTQ community because those people haven't had a chance, and white people, mostly white men, have been given their chance and they feel they should be replaced. That's where we are now. A lot of people are not going to like that, but that is the fact. This is where we are now. And if you don't like it, you're going to have to go to your box sets in your cupboards and watch old episodes. If you don't want to support it, you don't have to. But this is Doctor Who. I will give it a chance. I'm happy this is Russell T Davies because I don't think we're going to have a constant reminder of the colour of the man's skin, them being transparent about it. Because I think it's important that we treat him as an actor rather than a black queer actor. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not fair on him, right? He needs to feel he's been cast for the right reasons. And damn, I hope he has. He's certainly got the talent. He's certainly got the popularity, so we're going to have to wait and see. I will judge him. I wouldn't have cast him as the Doctor. I would have looked elsewhere. But we're not running Doctor Who. Russell T Davies has. We can't prove that we can run Doctor Who better than Russell T Davies. We're going to have to trust him here. And ultimately, what's going to happen is that the proof of the pudding is in the eating, everyone. As I say, in a way, it's the type of casting where you look at it and you go, oh, well, and you just shrug your shoulders and you get on with your day, really, because it's a lot of people always look for a name. It's called Chronic. Do you have OnlyFans? Nope. It's the internet. It's random. We have to go with it. But yeah, yes. No, look, I'm shocked about this casting. I've never heard of him until today. So it's going to be exciting for me. It's actually better. It's actually better that you don't know him if you don't know him, because you can go in without any preconceived ideas. I won't have any preconceived ideas about this doctor now. I mean, I didn't know who David Tennant was. I didn't even know who Peter Capaldi was. I certainly didn't know who Matt Smith was. Yeah, so everyone's telling me that he's a really, really good actor and he's brilliant in Sex Education. I am going to have to start watching Sex Education along with all the other stuff I have to watch. So eventually I will want to get a better... But I think then again, should I watch Sex Education, or should I just let it be when he becomes the doctor? Of course, it can be exciting to see what he wears. We won't see what he wears, what he'll be wearing full time, because he'll be dressed as Jodie Whittaker, which again will be interesting. I wonder if she'll be wearing a skirt in her final episode just to make things a little bit more difficult for shooting. That'll be interesting. But yes, everyone's telling me he's a very good actor. I believe he's a very good actor. I have no reason not to believe he's a very good actor. And as I say, I don't want to come on here saying, talking about the fact that he's a black actor. I don't want to be talking about that, because that's not fair. He's been given an opportunity and he has to prove himself as a great doctor, because being a great doctor and a great actor don't normally go together. Because what you've got to do in the character of the doctor, and apart from Jodie Whittaker, normally what happens, the actor and the showrunner get together and they create this amalgamation of their doctor. And what normally happens is the actor puts a lot of himself in. We could say him because Jodie didn't really put anything of herself or anyone really in her doctor. It was supposed to be similar to David Tennant's doctor. I don't see it. So normally the doctor has parts of the actor's personality inside him, which is very exciting. So yeah. And they definitely knew they couldn't cast a woman again because they saw what happened. So this is the next best thing for them. And because they've cast a really talented and popular lad, because this generation isn't like people from my generation. They're not going to care that he's black. The people who watch Sex Education or on TikTok who love this lad don't give a shit about people's backgrounds. They are part of the new era of humanity, where we don't look at people for what color they are, what gender they are, what their sexual preferences are. It's about them. It's about the individual. And this is what's great about this generation as well. It takes away the toxicity from the situation. For me, I will judge him on his ability and how he projects himself as the doctor. As I said earlier, what's exciting about this is that this is going to be something written by Russell T Davies. We know Russell T Davies wrote great Doctor Who. Unlike Stephen Moffat, unlike Chris Chibnall, Russell consistently wrote great Doctor Who. Season 1, great Doctor Who. Season 2, great Doctor Who. Season 3, even better Doctor Who. Season 4, amazing Doctor Who. The specials, or apart from the Easter one he did, which was, I think, Planet of the Dead, all the rest of those specials were amazing. Russell T Davies very rarely drops the ball, because Russell T Davies doesn't write with a word processor or a pen. Russell T Davies writes with his heart, and that's what makes him a special writer. Queer as Folk, It's a Sin, all multiple award-winning shows. It's not an accident. His time on Doctor Who, every year the Doctor was the best actor. David Tennant was the best actor. His show was winning BAFTAs and Emmys. Doctor Who hasn't reached that peak interest since Russell left. I think Stephen, when he first came in, made Doctor Who very different, made it very his, but it was difficult because we loved what RTD did and we loved David Tennant's Doctor, and it was difficult. But I think once we got into it, we started to appreciate what he did. But I think once Matt left, Stephen lost his mojo, which was a shame, and he didn't see it anymore because he wanted to do Matt Smith for the entirety of the time he was there. Matt Smith floored him by leaving, and I think we all know that, and people inside of the industry know that. But Russell's a different animal. I never thought Russell would come back again, the way he was talking, he wasn't interested in coming back again. Actually, I thought if anyone was going to come back, it was going to be Stephen Moffat, because Stephen Moffat always talks glowingly about Doctor Who and says he thinks about it all the time. Well, Russell was saying, no, I don't think of Doctor Who that often anymore. Of course, he was lying. He loves it. He is going to create the Doctor Who extended universe. He did it before in his original run, and I'm sure he will go that way again. Doctor Who needs Russell T Davies. Russell T Davies doesn't need Doctor Who, or maybe he's so obsessed with it like we are that he does need it. Doctor Who is amazing. It's a beautiful concept. It's about a person, male, female, black, white, whatever. It's about a person who ran away from his home with his granddaughter and has been exploring the universe ever since and getting him or herself into scrapes and helping to solve problems. He's a bit like the fugitive. He's a bit like David Banner in the Incredible Hulk TV series, moving from place to place every week. That's what makes it vast. That's what makes it different. In a show where you can do anything, it's always a challenge. But he is talking about going at this in a different way. But I think in terms of casting someone that the TikTok generation know, that's a very popular young man, I think this is going to be great. This casting isn't for me and you. This casting is to attract a younger audience, because me and you are already going to be there. And if it's good and if it's faithful enough to Doctor Who without being a slave to what Doctor Who is, that's good enough for us. People didn't, like classic Who fans, some of them didn't even like the RTD era because they wanted it to be like the classic era. But the problem is you've got to move on. You've got times change. And you're not going to have Russell T Davies wouldn't have been successful in the kind of bringing Doctor Who back if he stuck to the kind of show it was in the 60s and the 70s. It still was that Doctor Who. He was still in the, the police box, the TARDIS. He was still the Doctor, but it was just brought kicking and screaming in the 21st century, and Russell's going to do that again. So the casting is smart. The casting is smart in terms of what he represents for young people, and that he's part of sex education. So I think that's a smart element of the casting. And so, yeah, I think that will work. Now, people are going to have to be interested in this Doctor, like they were in a lot of the other Doctors. This is the important thing. Ultimately, once he's attracted the young audience, it won't matter what he's done before. He has to be a great version of this Doctor. He has to be his own thing while being the Doctor. And what do we do about this timeless child situation? Is this timeless child situation going to be rectified in the final of the Chibnall run? What's going to happen? Are we going to keep on going with this? This is another question that has to be answered. Will Russell T Davies just scrap it off and forget about it? Well, Chris Chibnall reckons that might be the case. So he said that in interviews, and that's Chris Chibnall saying it. We'll have to wait and see. People want to be entertained. People want to see great television. And if you can teach them something at the same time that doesn't trigger them, that's a good thing too. So, as I say, shocking casting. I'm not surprised by the ethnicity of the lad that's been cast. I think this is where we are in entertainment today. You either go with it or you don't bother. That's the thing. I think it's difficult to come out. Some people will say that they're not happy with the casting because he's an actor of colour. That's up to you to say that. I couldn't ever say that because it's not about that for me. It's about what this guy is going to represent as the Doctor. And if he's a great Doctor, that's good enough for me. If Jodie Whittaker was a great Doctor, I would have been happy with that. I didn't go to bed at night wanting a female Doctor, but I never wanted a female Doctor either. If you actually bothered developing her character, Chris, she could have been a great Doctor. She could have been a celebrated Doctor as well. Russell T Davies is back because Doctor Who hasn't worked in the past 3 series. It's sad, but it's true. People can be in denial of that. They can blame the COVID pandemic, but they're the facts. Her first episode, people were interested in her first episode. Big ratings records were broken, but those people didn't stay. They went away, not because they didn't like her, because they didn't like the way it was written. They weren't entertained with what they were seeing. That's the problem. I think it's very important now in terms of companion or companions, we don't go down ticking more boxes. I think 1 companion would be great, but it wouldn't surprise me if we have 3 or 4 companions. Daftiness, I can't stand Doctor Who anymore. Chris went in like a wreck in the bowl. Listen, I have certain issues with what Chris Chibnall did. I will say season 12 was pretty intriguing. I did like season 12. I liked the arc. I thought the Timeless Child was at least interesting, but he didn't expand on it. He didn't explain it. He just left it there, and he left people to fill in the gaps. And it's very dangerous to allow the consumer to fill in the gaps these days, because they will fill in the gaps, and most of what they fill in the gaps with aren't the truth. Doctor Who shorts. Honestly, Chris Chibnall tried too hard on getting the look of the Doctor Who rather than character development. Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, the cinematography, the effects are wonderful. The way it's made are wonderful, but there's no story. There's no fleshing out. It's not Doctor Who. Daftiness, is the actor any good though? The new Doctor, never heard of him. Is he Scottish? Yeah, he's from Rwanda and Scotland. He was in Sex Education. He is a very good actor, by the way. You could be a great actor. This doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great Doctor. I mean, I'm not a fan of Colin Baker, who's a good actor, or Sylvester McCoy, but they're both very good actors in their own rights. It just didn't work out as the Doctor. And again, that might have something to do with the writing. I think it always does. I think the writing for these actors playing the Doctor, especially when your first episode is so important. David Tennant's first episode, he was barely used, but he was very clever. And they did it in the right way. Christopher Eccleston's first episode, he nails it. Capaldi nails his first episode. Smith nails his first episode. And in Doctor Who, the movie, Paul McGann nailed that movie. It might not be the best of Doctor Who stories or anything like that, but McGann is still loved, and he's doing Big Finish because people wanted him to do Big Finish because he himself did a good job. And so it's very important you make your first episode make a great impression, and we need to know what type of Doctor this is going to be from the beginning. I still don't know what type of Doctor Jodie's Doctor is. Daftiness, who's your favourite Doctor? Got to be Tennant for me. I think I'm going to stick with Christopher Eccleston. Behind Christopher Eccleston, I have to say Peter Davison because he was my first Doctor. But I think Christopher Eccleston ticks all my boxes. I love David Tennant. I love Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi. It's not that I don't like those guys, but I'd say Christopher Eccleston. And it is quite awesome that he did one season. So there's a legacy there. He doesn't ever have to come back. He probably won't come back. But we'll always have those iconic 13 episodes wishing. It's always good if you leave them wanting more. We want more, but we're probably never going to get it. If Russell differences, and if Chris can be involved in the 5th anniversary because he's doing Big Finish. So hopefully, because he never was going to do Big Finish, he reckons he's doing it for the money, but that's just Chris. That's something that Chris would say. So I'd love to see Chris back again. He is my favourite Doctor. And hopefully, do you know what? I forgot the lad's name already, so I don't want to even try and say it. But I'm not very good with names. I barely remember my name. But yeah, this lad has to make a great first impression, and I hope he becomes my favourite Doctor. But I think he's going to be the favourite Doctor of a lot of teenage girls, boys, or however they identify as. I think this is why he's been cast. He's relevant. He's current. And I think because Doctor Who isn't the show from the 60s and the 70s and 80s, that they weren't mainstream that wasn't mainstream television. But this is Doctor Who is now mainstream television. So David Tennant was perfect for young people. Christopher Eccleston was loved by young people, but not necessarily someone you think a young audience would come in for, but they did. And again, Matt Smith was perfect for young audiences. And I think this lad, he ticks all the boxes. He ticks the social media boxes, the fact that he was on Sex Education. I don't know if Sex Education is even still on. But yeah, he's very, very popular. And lots of young people will be very, very excited about this casting. So I'm excited for it. I'm intrigued by it. I don't know what we're going to get. And I think that's exciting. I mean, we didn't know what we were going to get with Chibnall. And what we did get was disappointing. What Stephen Moffat largely did was fantastic, but he lost his mojo once Peter Capaldi came in, and that was a shame. So so I'm extremely happy that we finally know who the new Doctor is. But as I say, it's weird because I don't know him. It's difficult for me to be over the top excited because I don't know what I'm going to get. But again, that's a good thing. We'll have to wait and see. We won't see him till the end of the year in the Centennial Special when he regenerates. You know what would be cool is if she regenerates early on and he's the doctor, but that's not going to happen. But that would be cool because we're not going to see him till near the end of next year. And this centennial special is October, I think. So, oh no, sorry, the centennial is this year and the anniversary is next year. And I think next October 2013. Even I'm getting confused. So yeah, I am excited. I hope he's a great doctor. I think he will be. It's just exciting to have Russell T Davies back. He's proved he can do great Doctor Who, and I'm sure he will do great Doctor Who again. You know, it's mad. It's mad. You never know what you're going to get. But we do live in the era where these are the type of castings that we're going to get. Doctor Who shorts. What Doctor Who needs is a good character development like series 1 to 4. 1 to 4. I agree, Christopher Eccleston is an amazing doctor. Well, luckily, Doctor Who shorts, we got the person who did series 1 to 4. So that's a good thing, isn't it? Because he will do that. He will develop characters. He will have, because his doctors, Eccleston and Tennant, had an arc and a journey. They were very damaged doctors. And they became, you know, in the end, they completed their journey. But interestingly enough, kind of in a way, if you like, we had a doctor who was very bitter from the Time War. And in the end, we had a doctor who didn't want to regenerate. That says something about that version of the doctor. So even though Russell made him a positive doctor, Tennant could also be very, very dark at times. But this was a doctor fighting not to change. And when you don't want to change, that's a bad thing. So that's an interesting thing that Russell did as well. So it's going to be interesting. Tidal Wave Films. I'm super excited for his take on the Doctor. I couldn't care if we have a coloured actor as the Doctor. All I care about is their acting, which from what I have heard, he's meant to be a superb actor. Yeah, ticks all the boxes. So he's a really good actor. He's popular with the kids. He's popular with the TikTok generation. He bounces about. He's got good screen presence. People like him. And, you know, it's important. You must get young people involved in mainstream movies and television. And Doctor Who is supposed to attract the mainstream. This Doctor Who, this revival, they need it. They need it to make money. It's now under the premise of Bad Wolf Productions. So the BBC have no control over this anymore. It will be aired on their channel and that's it. More money will be poured into it. This could be the best Doctor Who we've ever had. We do live in an era where we're doing inclusive castings, but it's like any actor, any white actor or anything. As long as they've earned the right to be there and they're there for the right reasons and they can do the job, as you say, I couldn't give a shit. You know, being an Anglo-Greek Cypriot, I would like an Anglo-Greek Cypriot to play the Doctor, but it isn't really important for me to see myself on the screen. Christopher Reeve was a white man playing a doctor. Playing Superman. He didn't eat doner kebabs or anything, but I still identified with him. I didn't need to see myself. I just needed an aspirational hero. And that's something I think we've lost today, aspirational characters. And, you know, this political movement think it's about seeing ourselves on screen or young people seeing themselves on the screen. But I think it's more about aspirational storytelling, actually looking at someone and saying, wow, I could do that. That could be me. He don't look like me. He ain't from my country. He or she or whatever ain't got my gender, but I'm inspired. I want to be a hero like that person there. They don't have to look like me. They don't have to be from my part of the world. I don't have to see myself on the screen. They just have to be aspirational. And we've lost the aspirational storytelling element to entertainment these days because it's become utterly political. But in terms of this actor, not surprised it's inclusive. I would have been surprised if we had a white actor. Lots of people were losing their shit when white actors were rumoured to play the Doctor. Oh my God, another white actor. It's triggering. I know, because that's just as racist as saying you don't want an actor of colour playing the Doctor. But this is where we are today, and there's nothing we can do about it. So all I want is to see great Doctor Who, and I hope that we do. He's young, he's vibrant, he's happening. So the casting's good. The casting's certainly good in terms of what he represents as an actor and the audience he's going to bring in. So he's going to, as long as the writing's great, and there's no reason, unless Russell kind of gives the writing to other people, there's no reason why this can't be great. So I hope that Russell's all in with this and he's not just a part-time showrunner, because that will be disappointing. Doctor Who needs Russell T Davies desperately right now. So yes, I'm very, very excited. And I hope that you are too. I'm not excited because of the actor, because I don't know him. I'm excited that we finally know who it is. All this clickbait shit has stopped. Never believed any of it, because you'd have to be dumb to believe any of it. Because Russell T Davies was never going to publicise who his doctor was going to be. He's obviously known this was his doctor for a very long time. Tidal Wave Films. For me, Jodie was not the doctor we know and love. She felt too happy and jolly and has not been dark as previous iterations of the character. And for me, the doctor has to be a good balance. You're talking about the character and how she was written. That's not about Jodie. That's about Chris Chibnall. He didn't flesh her out. He didn't write her. She didn't even feel like the doctor. She didn't even have the intelligence of the doctor. Every 5 minutes, sonic screwdriver. Oh, I've got to read the sonic screwdriver or I won't know anything. That's not the doctor. The doctor has intellect. The doctor doesn't know everything, and the doctor shouldn't know everything, but past doctors have been intelligent. Jodie Whittaker's doctor failed not because of Jodie, because of the writing for her. Skinner 21, Jodie deserved better. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Because if you're going to cast the first female doctor, wouldn't it be good if you created the best doctor? Isn't that the best inclusivity for the first female doctor, rather than saying, oh, and get this, he brings in Sacha Dhawan as the master, he fleshes him out, he's brilliant, he creates one of the best masters ever. Why couldn't he do the same for Jodie's doctor? It makes no sense, and it's utterly, utterly lazy. Just like his Timeless Child arc, no fleshing out, no expanding on it. Let's just leave it all to the final episode. But that's not good enough just to give it a reference or to give it half an hour or whatever he's going to do. It's like the Fugitive Doctor. They're dumping her over on Big Finish and they think they're being clever. We should have had, Fugitive Doctor. We should have had, basically, Doctor Who Flux should have been a Fugitive Doctor departure series just to tell us who she is and what she's been doing. It would have been great. No imagination, laziness, chucking concepts out there, then saying, well, I never meant to give you the answers anyway. You lazy SOB. I'm sorry to be disrespectful, but that's just lazy. That's just creative bankruptcy of the highest level. I don't hate Chris Chibnall as a person. I don't know him as a person. It's not about that. Your job is to entertain us. Your job is to give us the best version of Doctor Who that you can, and you didn't do that. Joe Phipps, for me, Chibnall has to be the worst showrunner the show has had. Can't wait for his new era and for this new era and for the show to get back on track. Yes, it will get back on track because Russell's back to get it back on track. They destroyed his baby and he's come back to fix it. So he's going to be great. Look, this lad will be great. The writing will be great. But yeah, you're right about Chibnall, and it's a shame because I'm one of the few people who like his Torchwood episode, Cyberwoman. I thought Cyberwoman was a very dark, aggressive episode. I love the fact that everyone's at each other's throats. I actually thought that was a pretty cool episode. A lot of people hate that episode. I think he's written great stuff. I'm still starting to think maybe someone ghost wrote Broadchurch Season 1 because Broadchurch Season 2 and 3 have got him stamped all over it. But the first season was very, very good. Skinner 21, Chibnall doesn't know where the Fugitive Doctor comes from, so her doctor was pretty much pointless. Yep, it was just pretty much having a woman of colour without fleshing her out, which actually you could say is more, I think that's actually a little bit racist to just say, here's a woman of colour, she's the doctor, that's it, we're not going to do anything with her. Because if you had if you had a white man playing that character, you would have fleshed him out, right? Doctor Who Shorts. Jodie had potential when she was announced. I was excited. But by the Series 11 finale, I was really shocked how boring it was. Agreed. I hope Russell improves the show and the viewing figures. Skinner 21. If the Fugitive Doctor was an alternate Doctor, then that would have been more interesting. Yeah, he made it clear. She's the Doctor, I think, between Pertwee, am I right? And no, between Troughton and Pertwee. and that doctor went on secret missions and things like that. That's why I mean, what would you have preferred? Be honest. Let me know in the comments. Doctor Who Flux or a Fugitive Doctor departure series, and then we could have gone to Jodie's final series. I know that would have been sad on Jodie, taking one series away from her, but yeah, why not? If you've introduced a concept, expand on it. Lugas Giorgio, keep an eye on the head stopper. I don't know. I told you the internet's a very random place. Lugas Giorgio, you're from my part of the world, Cyprus. So I'll stay here for a couple of more, a little bit while longer, just so we can celebrate that we finally know who's playing the Doctor. I'll give you another 15 minutes. How about that? Lugas Giorgio, keep an eye on the Heartstopper cast, as I get a funny feeling one of them is going to get cast as the companion. Interesting. I know nothing about Heartstopper. Maybe you can explain what Heartstopper is. Very kind of you if you do. Because, by the way, I may be a very small YouTuber. I'm tall, but I'm a very small YouTuber. Not important, not elite. So I don't know everything about everything. I mean, I've been watching television since I was a small boy. I know a lot of stuff, but nobody... I'm like the Doctor. I don't know everything, right? You can call me the Doctor of YouTube if you want. So if you've come in and you know more information about something than me, be my guest. Let me know. You know, no one's more valid than anyone else here. Let me be clear with you. I don't like elite HooTube. I actually despise HooTubers. They're the most arrogant shills I've ever come across. Never admitting the problems with the Chibnall era, never admitting the Jodie Whittaker situation, and just calling people sexist doesn't do it for me. That people riot. Her Doctor wasn't fleshed out enough. You know, I don't want to talk to the people who say it failed because she's a woman. That's not why it failed. Her character wasn't developed. Skinner21, I know this is irrelevant to the topic, but do you support Johnny Depp or Amber Heard? Johnny Depp, Lugas Giorgio, another very inclusive LGBT Netflix show that just came out and has exploded on TikTok and social media. Well, that's interesting because we know, obviously, Russell T Davies is a gay man and he's very supportive of this kind of television. Now, I didn't know that this young man who's been cast as the Doctor is actually gay. That I understand that he's cast the first gay Doctor because he's gay. I get it. But what Russell won't do is just be so self-obsessed about it. He will still give us great Doctor Who. But maybe there'll be a same-sex relationship in there. And again, I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. Ero, I support this casting and good actor, cautiously optimistic. Yes, I am very excited because I found out about him. I forgot his name now. What's his bloody name, man? Here we are. Oh, no, I've lost it now. Never mind. Let's see if I can just go. Oh, come off it. Right. Yeah, Ncuti Gatwa. Remember that? Ncuti Gatwa. As I said when I came on, I had to call up a friend to let me know how to pronounce the lad's name because I really thought it's important that we're positive about this. There's going to be lots of YouTubers from the Fandom Menace being very, very negative about this. We know why. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here and say, I don't like this casting because he's black. That's ridiculous. Yes, I know probably they were always going to cast an actor of colour. I know that. And a gay actor. That's what they wanted to do, right? They wanted to be inclusive. I don't care who he is, what he represents. I care that he's talented, that the kids are going to come in, that this could make Doctor Who, popular again. And he is a good actor after all. So, the other stuff shouldn't really matter. Doctor Who shorts, I can't wait for Series 14. I hope Russell does an amazing job. I'm sure he will. And picks an amazing companion. If so, this might be a good Series 14. Skinner 21, a 7-year-old can write better than Chibnall. It's weird because he has written good stuff before. So it's just very, very strange how lazy he was. I mean, we had, what, 3 seasons did we have in about 5 years? I mean, look, it's ridiculous. I don't think we're going to go back to 13 episodes a year. I think we could actually just have 6 to 7 episodes a year because that's what the streaming giants are doing now. We'll have to wait and see. Doctor Who Shorts, Chris Chibnall does an amazing job with classic villains, in my opinion. I think you're right there. The Centaurans, yeah, they looked good. I must say, his classic villains looked good, but did they work as villains? With classic villains, in my opinion, the Centaurans from Flux were amazing. However, the chocolate jokes were a bit too much. But there you go. Jadoon also. And let's not forget, Russell created the Jadoon, and they're great. Lucas Giorgio. I think the casting is definitely going to pull from a lot of actors that the younger generation love nowadays. Less TV legends, but more exciting new talent, maybe. I agree. And I actually think this is the way to go. Hero villain designs were good, but the writing just wasn't there. Yeah. Your name's not Hero Villain. Your name's Hero Villain Designs, right? Yeah, can't read. Excuse me. I'm uneducated. No one said when I started my YouTube channel I had to be able to read. I'm trying, right? I'm joking. Of course I can read, but sometimes I get my words wrong. So it's been great to do this video. I was going to do a pre-recorded, but my internet's shit and I've got an HD camera. It would have taken me 6 hours to upload a video. That's how bad my internet is. So I'm just doing live videos at the moment, and I hope no one's got a problem with them being live. I think some people prefer the live videos because you can interact, which is great, and I don't have to wait for the upload, which is good for me. It's just less professional, I suppose. But maybe one day when I get better internet, I can do some editorials, because I do miss doing the editorials as well. Doctor Who Shorts, you are quite relaxing to listen to. Don't tell my family that, but yeah, thanks, I appreciate that. Yes, I'm just excited. You know, I didn't know what I was going to say when I came on here. I was very divided about the casting, and then I said, Jesus Christ, man, you know. At the end of the day, it's about the quality of the actor, what he can bring to the part. And this is Russell T Davies. I trust Russell T Davies at the end of the day. And why shouldn't a black actor have the opportunity to play the Doctor? Why shouldn't an Indian actor get the chance to play the Master? We've had a female Master. These shouldn't be things that we should be worried about. Will we ever get a white man playing the Doctor again? That's another conversation for another time. I'm sure we will. But they've been inclusive this time. It's very interesting casting. And I think it's going to be very free in casting. Look, this is not going to be Russell's original run of Doctor Who. This is going to be very, very modern. And in modern terms, Russell's clever. Russell's clever. He's found a way to attract a new audience to Doctor Who. And he's been able to be inclusive, but actually find someone who's earned the right to play the Doctor as well. Hero, don't see why people care about the colour of the skin. Personally, a bit weird. Well, that's the kind of society we live in. You see, the older people, who are my age, remember, you know, white men playing the Doctor. So they believe a white man can only play the Doctor. I don't agree. He's someone, he, she, or whatever, is someone who's an alien who can regenerate and look like anything. If he focuses, he can regenerate into anything he wants, right? He could be a tree, I think, if he wanted to. So, you know, there's no rules that it has to be a man or a white man or anything like this. And listen, they've picked a talented guy. As I say, I can't sit here and say, oh, I hate this because he's black. I can't do that. You know, of course I know he's been cast because he's black, because he's a gay lad. And, you know, that's one of those things. But he's also been cast because he's a talented gay guy of colour as well. Because, you know, I'm not going to pretend that they just it's just the fact is random that he's a man of colour. Of course, that's part of the thing. Skinner 21, I was thinking of Michael Sheen on Naomi Harris as the Doctor, but I'm really curious to see Ncuti's performance. Yeah, I think it will be good. He's got a lot of energy. In the short clips that I've seen, I have noticed that Doctor Who shorts, yeah, anyone can honestly play the Doctor. It's very important in playing the Doctor. It's something I've wanted to do all my life. You've got to have a personality. You've got to put your own personality in the role, as well as acting and performing and doing the make-believe stuff. If you don't partially put yourself in the role, it's not going to work. Every actor has done that apart from Jodie Whittaker. That's why Jodie's Doctor didn't work. She didn't know Doctor Who. You know, we look at all the actors who have played the Doctor. Clearly, Bill Hartnell didn't have any reference, you know. Patrick Troughton was just an actor who came in. John Pertwee knew the show. Then Tom Baker was a little bit of a fanboy. Peter Davison was definitely a fanboy. Colin Baker, the same. So mostly as we've gone on and on, a lot of the actors who were chosen were actually Doctor Who fans. David Tennant is a huge Doctor Who fan. Matt Smith, probably not so much a fan, but he gave himself into the role. He was amazing. And that speech, that monologue at the end of his run was amazing. I think that's one of my favourite, you know, regeneration scenes. The only thing I don't like about it is the suddenness about the regeneration. That was Ruthless by Stephen Moffat. So I don't think anyone can play the Doctor, but I think anyone who has a passion for it, because it's such a freeing opportunity for an actor, because you can become anything as a new Doctor. There's no rules. This guy can eat strawberries and cream. You know, that could be his thing, right? We got the thing with the Jelly Babies and Tom Baker, but he can be anything. Do you understand? That's why people saying the Doctor should always be a white man doesn't make sense. The Doctor can be anything. Doctor Who shorts. Matt Smith is my favourite Doctor. He's an amazing Doctor, an amazing man, and he should have been more successful. After Doctor Who, he's been stitched up in a lot of roles. I mean, the Terminator thing, the Star Wars thing, he's been cut from stuff, and that's nothing on him, because he really is a tremendous actor, and I hope we see him in the 60th anniversary. So we're going to wrap things up, everyone. Yes, Ncuti, let me get his name right again. I forgot his name again, right? Yes, so the headline is Ncuti Gatwa is the new Doctor. He's vibrant, he's young, he's happening, he's going to bring a new young audience to Doctor Who, and I'm excited. Doctor Who shorts, yeah, true. The Doctor could even be blue. The Doctor can be anything, right? That's the point. It's in the concept of the character, right? So when we hear they're going to do a Superman of colour, change Clark Kent into a black man, that is something I don't agree with, because actually there's two great black versions of Superman in the comics, so you don't have to mess with Clark Kent. Things like that I wouldn't agree with if that was happening. But this is different. This is an alien who can change his appearance and look like anything or anyone. So there's no issue here. The only thing you have to get right, no matter if it's black person, a gay person, a white person, Asian, Indian, whatever, is that you cast the right person, someone who has a passion for it, someone who has the ability to basically open the door of the TARDIS and make you fall in love with them. And that's all you need. Skinner 21, what are you hoping to see in the 60th anniversary? I want to see a celebration. I want to see as many people who have picked up a sonic screwdriver and played this character to appear. I want an original story. I want it to be fun. And this is going to be Ncuti Gatwa's first episode, which makes it even more exciting. This has been Movies TV Mad. We have a brand new Doctor. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a beautiful perfection. And if you're interested, please come into my live tonight, Movies TV Mad Live, where you can ask me more questions and we can talk about anything. Doctor Who shorts. What is your favourite villain and companion? Wow. You know what? I've always been a sucker for the Master, which is a boring thing to say. I love Sacha Dhawan's Master, but I love John Sims' Master. I love Delgado's, and Anthony Ainsley was my Master growing up as well. So it's got to be companion. As a kid, you're going to laugh. I loved Adric and I love Tegan. Adric is not very popular. But as a young boy, I actually really liked Adric, and I was kind of confused why people hate him. But yeah, they were my companions as a kid. In the revival, I liked Rose in season 1, hated her in season 2, far too arrogant when her and the Doctor were laughing at Mickey in season 2, pissed me off. Martha Jones, an amazing companion, because although she has a crush on the Doctor, she's intelligent, she's training to be a doctor, and she becomes a hero in her own right. And, Catherine Tate as Donna Noble. Everyone hating on her after the Christmas invasion. The Runaway Bride. But she was amazing. She was fucking amazing. And when the Doctor has to wipe her memory, it still breaks my heart today when I see it. And this is the talent and genius of Russell T Davies. So, until I see you tonight in Movies TV Mad Live, I hope you've enjoyed the live video. I will be back. Until we see each other again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. See you tonight. Thank you, everyone. It's great talking to you all. Doctor Who Shorts, bye. Thank you very much, Doctor Who Shorts, and everyone who's commented, all 8 of you, the grand total of 8 of you who have liked the video, who have come in. Today, just treat today as a celebratory day for Doctor Who fans. Don't see it as a negative. It's good casting. Russell T Davies is back. There's nothing to be disappointed about. And I will see you tonight for Movies TV Mad Live. Till then, goodbye. Be good to each other.